All right. Oh, hey, Stacy. Tried to get on early too so that I could give everyone a chance to find the Facebook Live and join us. Hey, Trish. Oh, good. You used the link in the email I sent, Stacy? Or a little different than Zoom, not being able to see everyone. I'm gonna wait here for a couple minutes before I get started. Okay, great. Thanks, Stacy. I know sometimes some people had a hard time finding the Facebook Live for the card class, so it took a while for everyone to get on. So I tried to make it easier. Marshall messaged me and said she is a Facebook Live virgin, so hopefully she can find her way to it. I saw Rosie was watching. Hi, Rosie. I do want to, since I know Marshall just messaged me, I do want to kind of wait, if that's okay with you guys, and see if we can get her on here. You have no idea what this is, Rosie? All right, well, you guys, I can't hear you, but I can see anything you type. And oh, hey, Lori. And I am going to walk you through a project recipe. A project recipe is something that Creative Memories started doing in lieu of like idea books. And so what I'm gonna do is I can print these out and give them to y'all at Crops, which I will do going forward for those of you that enjoy using idea books and idea pages. So what we're gonna do tonight is do this project recipe. It's using the Genuine paper, which is a new paper pack from Creative Memories, but I'm not going to use the Genuine paper pack. And that's on purpose because I want you to see that you can use any paper with these. So actually the paper I'm going to be using tonight is from the newer pack called Beneath the Pines. The pictures I chose are very snowy, which is not really, you know, very Floridian, but this is in upstate New York. So I've got some snow on here, and we've got people joining us from all over, like Trish on from Canada and Lori from Maryland. So I'm going with the Beneath the Pines, and I'm going to use the Spiky Evergreen Border Maker Punch. So if you've never seen a project recipe, basically, like I said in the materials list, you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock for your page bases. Now, you can also just use regular pages if you want, if you don't build your pages like this. So maybe you don't use 12 by 12 sheet, you know, full sheets of paper. Maybe you build right on the pages, and that's fine. For this, I'm just going to go ahead and build it on the 2 sheets of gray. The project recipe that's made with the Genuine, they're using navy blue. So again, the gray in the finished product is going to be what you see in white here. So I'm actually not going to do anything with the gray until I'm ready to put the 2-page spread together, until everything is cut. So I'm just going to set those off to the side. So this is showing you the finished pages, and I've gone ahead and posted screenshots of both of these sheets in the discussion, and I'd be happy to email anyone the PDF that you can refer to, because I realize that some of the text might not be as clear for you in those screenshots. But it's very straightforward. The directions are right here. I know we all learn different, so that's why I'm going to walk you through this process. So on the second sheet of paper, it breaks down the 3 sheets and how exactly to cut them. So it gives you the sizes to cut them, and if it says reverse, you're going to use the other side of it in the layout. But of course, you know, when it's reversible paper, you can use whatever side of the paper you think looks best. So you first have to sort of decide, these are the 3 sheets that I'm using from Beneath the Pine, and of course they are double dipped or reversible. I think these are going to go great with my snowy pictures. And so you kind of have to assign which page you want to be designer paper 1, 2, or 3, and it really doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna say for this purpose, just so that you can see that you really can't go wrong with doing it. However, I'm gonna go ahead and use say this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Okay, so we're gonna start with designer paper 1, and it tells us what to do. So we're going to start with A, and that's punch then cut. So you can use any kind of a border punch, or in this case, I'm going to use the Spiky Evergreen Border Maker. And if you haven't seen a border maker system in action, then you're in for a treat. The border maker cartridge slides in like this. You use it in conjunction with this guide. And I don't know if anyone is able to message Marshall, but she just said she doesn't see us, so hopefully that'll change. But I can't message her because my phone is on Facebook Live. Let me see if I can do it from my computer. Okay. All right, so hopefully we will get Marshall in here quickly. So how this works is you're going to slide the paper into the edge of the guide, and this has a magnet, so it's going to hold the paper down. And this folds underneath so that you have just the right amount of paper exposed to slip into this machine. There's nodules, which you might not be able to see very well along the edge here. And the Boilermaker cartridge slides in like this. You match up this little notch with these and then push. Then you're going to slide and push. And you keep doing that until you get all the way. All right, so that's one. Let's refer back to our directions. Now this one says punch, then cut, reverse. So in the actual layout, we're going to use the back side of it for one of them if we want. We're going to see. Again, these are just suggestions. Remember, you're the boss of your own art, so you can do whatever you want. So we're going to flip this guide back out again, open this back up, slide this in, repeat this process, and we're going to go ahead and do another one. I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to set this here so that you can see the cutting guide while I'm going along. Okay. All right, so we've got our two borders. Let's kind of clean up my area. All right. The next thing we're going to do is cut according to the guide, and I'm using the new trimmer, and this trimmer is amazing. I love, you might even be able to see, hey Marshall, you found us, yay. You didn't miss much. Just to catch you up quickly, I used the Boilermaker punch to cut 2 strips, and then now I'm cutting the rest of the paper. So we just follow an alphabetical order. So we're going to cut C next. Now it's 6.5 by 4.5, and you don't want to do 4.5 by 6.5 because then you're going to run out of room. So we're going to flip out this guide so that we can go to 6.5, and we're going to move the paper to 6.5 over here. All right. So we've got 6.5, and now we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to cut 4.5. We don't need this guide anymore. We can put that away, and we're going to go 4.5, and 4.5. And our guide over here is telling us that this is going to be extra. So we're not going to use this piece. Now we're going to trim this piece to 3.25 by 3.25. So we're going to look here, 3.25. Oops. Trim off the excess just a little bit, and it does show it on the little sheet there. And we need 3 squares, so 3.25 times 3. So 1, 3.25, 2, and 3. Okay, so now we are ready, all done with this first sheet of paper. I've got some extra, I've got my garbage, and we're ready to move on to the designer paper 2. So designer paper number 2 is going to be this one. So this one's going to be 9 by 7.5. So we need to flip this out again. and cut it to 9. I actually flipped it because I can see here that it's calling for us to use the reverse side over here, and I want to make sure that the little piece we have left, that these animals are going the right way. I don't know that I'm going to use the animals since I don't have animals on my page, but just kind of looking at what's on the back and the orientation of the design could save you, you know, cutting up a piece that you didn't want to. So we're out to 9. We're going to go 9 by 7.5. So we're going to cut that to 9. And then we're going to cut it to 7.5, which will leave us in the extra a 9 by 4.5. We can check it. And that's 4.5. So we've got those two pieces done, H and I. And then J is a 3-inch piece, which is what we have. And we're going to trim that to 9. And hopefully, yes, my animals are going to be going the right way on the page. Okay, so now this is extra, showing it in our picture over here. So we can put that to the side. Now we're ready to start our last piece, designer paper number 3. It's going to be this one. And we're going to start with the 4.5-inch cut. So we're just still going alphabetically. So I had J, we're going to go K. So 4.5. And we're going to need 2 4.5-inch squares. Okay, so we've got 2 4.5-inch squares, and that gives us what's left over is 4.5 by 3. We've got that piece there. Now we're going to do a piece that's 2.5 by 12 and 4 by 12. So we're just still going in order. So 2.5 by 12 and then 4 by 12. Well, you can just use it upside down, or that's why we have 2 sheets of every paper in the paper pack, right, Rosie? All right, so this is extra, and that's showing on our guide that this is going to be extra. So now all of our pieces are cut, and now we're ready to assemble the page. So now we can come back to this page 1 and do our assembly. So I'm going to start with the left page here. And if you want to refer back, now some of you, what size are the little boxes on the last piece? They're 4.5 by 4.5, 4.5 by 4.5, and 4.5 by 3. Yep, Marshall, we see you. You are in. Sorry, my camera got a little bumped. Did that help you, Trish? Is that what you meant by the little boxes? These two over here? So the colors are not color coded. Well, yes. So they're with the picture. So if you remember what color was which on your sheet, then that'll help you piece it together. Or you can just look at both pages at the same, at the same time. So this was the larger of the piece. The O goes on the other page. So this piece is going to go over here, and now it's going to tell you when to do the reverse. Now, Rosie, here's a situation where I didn't look at this one, and so this one is cut sideways, but I'm not going to worry about that, because I can either use this side or I can use the reverse side behind my photos. So, because it'll work on these as a square. So that's for that. Here's my 4x6, and then the 3 little squares. Are these little squares you meant, Trish? These ones were on the first sheet, and they are 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So these have wood grain on them, and if you want them to match, you can. I'm just kind of laying out the page. Now this is the one where underneath here are these 2 pieces. Now I can use the animals if I want, or I can just stick with the wood. And I think I'm going to stick with the wood. So this piece goes under here. And when I do my other page, you're so lost. Okay, well, here's the good news, Marshall. The good news is that this is recorded, and so you can go back and you can watch it again, and you can play it and pause it and go along with it. And remember, in the description or in the discussion of the event, I went ahead and I put these. These are your instructions. So you can go back and follow them word for word, and I promise you will have no problem at all. Okay, so this is how that page is going to look. And I can mess around with, you know, the different sides if I want. Or I can just leave it. I think I'll probably do it like this. And so it's time for me to go ahead and stick them down. So I'm not going to really worry about the necessarily if this is perfect. I just want it to match up with the other page. So I'm just using my handy dandy tape runner. You can use your favorite adhesive. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and stick this down first. And one of the hardest things with the double-sided paper, right, is deciding which of the papers you want to use. It is hard to make that choice. Okay, so now that's ready for pictures. This page is. And I apologize for the glare on here. Let's see if I can do anything about that. Okay, so that's ready for pictures. And now we're going to stick down this page. So I'm going to leave this one right next to it so that I can position this piece the right way. Now I can move this off to the side. And then I'll place, oops, I'm going to use this other side just like the other page. Okay, and now I think I'm going to use, so the directions say to reverse the spiky, and so we can do one this way and we can reverse this way, but I don't know. I kind of like both of them this way, and I think I'm just going to change the direction. So I'm going to keep the same side, but instead of the spikies going up, I'm just going to switch the direction this way. All right, and then this last little piece is for a journal box over here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it this way, but what I'll probably do is when yes, absolutely. I have my pictures and I'm gonna put my pictures on. So, this will be my journal box like it's showing over here in the picture, but what I'll do is I'll add a piece of white cardstock there to do my journaling. All right, so this is ready to stick down. Is that what you meant, Rosie? You want me to put my pictures on? And then, of course, we all have gobs of stickers and whatnot. So, and there are stickers that go with this Beneath the Pines. If you like this set. All right, now for this, you have a couple options for adhesive. You can do the Precision Point adhesive pen, which looks like this, and you can add the adhesive to that way, or Creative Memories has what they refer to as repositionable, but it's kind of like the old Xyron, where it only goes on where the paper is, and so it's pretty fast. But I've got this out here, so I'm sort of a fan of the Precision Point, and it really doesn't take a lot. I'm just adding a couple dots of it down the strip. Of course, with anything, when you have these little intricate things, you have to make sure you put the adhesive on the right side. I'm sure we've all done that before, with especially like Cricut letters, where it matters what side you put the adhesive on and you accidentally put it on the wrong side. Who's with me on that? Oh, that's okay. I printed them specifically for this purpose, the pictures. So I'm gonna stick them right on. And I always say, done is better than perfect. So, okay. So this page, so now that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and move this off to the side. So again, this is very different than what the Creative Memories used in the sample, because they used the genuine, and I'm gonna go back and I can add more embellishments. But I wanted you to see that you can do this with any paper. And so you can start a collection of these project recipes and use them. So this is when my mom and I went up to my grandfather's after he passed away to sell his house in the Adirondacks. And so that is what the completed page will look like. And actually, I think I'm going to move this over and just kind of tuck that underneath there. And I can stick these down. All right, does anyone have any questions? I know, Marshall, you said you were totally lost. That is the beauty of Facebook Live, is you can ask me questions now, and of course you can comment and ask me questions or message me at any other time, but you can, if you get lost, as soon as we're done here, it's going to post to this event, the video, and then you can go back and watch it again and again, just when you miss my voice. Okay, so now I can do a title down on the side and I can add to it. But for the most part, now the layout anyway, the hard part, right, figuring out something fun to do with your pictures is done. And we did it all with a project recipe. So like I said, you can put these in a binder if you want, or you can just shove them into your scrapbook bag, and then you'll stumble on, it'll be like a surprise. You forgot that you had this project recipe just when you have run out of ideas. One of these can kind of get you out of a slump when you're stuck. So if no one has any questions, I'm glad you like it. Does anyone else have any questions before I sign off? Oh, right. So Lori, you kept up. It was like a challenge for you. You didn't want to fall behind. Yes, yeah, for those of you that are available, we're going to do a Zoom crop on Thursday, April 9th from 9 to 12. And so you could definitely work on one of these there. If you want me to email you this PDF, I can certainly do that. Let me see. I thought it was going to let me see who. Okay. All right. So I guess that's it. And okay, good, Lori. All right, I will email you that we're on here, and or if you're watching this after the fact and you need me to email you the project recipe, I'm happy to do that. The Beneath the Pines is now available to order. The spiky evergreen is still available. I just checked tonight before I jumped on here, and Creative Memories is back to ordering and shipping again, so you can feel free to go to my website. Don't forget, tonight is the last night to order the card kit for next Tuesday night, and we will be making these cards. Oh yeah, the new trimmer is amazing. These are the cards we'll be making next Tuesday. I will be shipping them out tomorrow. I spent the bulk of today cutting paper, so I will be mailing these kits out tomorrow. And if you haven't gotten your kit yet and you want one, okay, I sure will, Marshall. If you haven't gotten the card kit, you can jump on my website, energeticexpression.com, and order the April card kit. Like I said, those will be shipping out tomorrow, so most of you should see them by the end of the week or Saturday. They will be coming U.S. mail, and I wish you all a great night. Stay healthy, and I will talk to you and hopefully see you soon. Alrighty, thanks guys.